Margaret Ann Lembo here. Yep, I am Margaret Ann Lembo, and I also have Kate is here for the Margaret and Kate show. That's
Hello.
what we would call it.
Yes.
What'd you say? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
All right, so we have a live studio audience again today, so we're so happy. Yay! Yay!
We need an applause late.
Okay, we'll have Johanna make a like the cue cards.
Yeah.
And we'll put it in front and then pull it out. Yep, that's it. Whatever, just to have fun anyway. We brought Ganesh from my desk. Then I went shopping for the store, and once in a while, I can't put it out on the showroom floor. It has to come and sit with me. So now we all enjoy this little sweetheart in my office. It is a solid rose quartz carved Ganesh. We have another one in the front showroom that's bigger than this. That's for sale. This one is not. Keep your hands off. He actually has a blue shawl on, so that's very Margaret-like. So anyway, I digress. But I put his spray, or actually Anna put his spray here so that we'd have this spray. So Ganesha spray smells to me like Thanksgiving time. Gratitude, blessings. So the way this works, the Gemstone Oracle, is that I have my 5 decks of cards, the Crystal Intentions Oracle, the Angels and Gemstone Guardians cards, the Archangels and Gemstone Guardians cards, Masters, Mystics, Saints, and Gemstone Guardians cards, and the Animal Allies and Gemstone Guardians cards, and soon, my new deck, Gemstone Guardians and Your Soul Purpose, will come out in August 2020. So, we're going to pull a card based on someone's question. So, we'll see. It's not necessarily a fortune telling by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't do that. But I pulled one just for the sake of fun for everyone, me, you. It's Green Aventurine.
Oh.
So Kate's a tiny bit under the weather.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
No.
Not enough that she wants to go home.
No.
Maybe later. But anyway, this Green Aventurine is like one of the best gemstones, I think, when somebody says, I need a stone for healing, and then we say, every stone is really for healing, but if you want to get more specific. So this affirmation is, it is easy for me to maintain overall well-being with conscious habits of health. Perfect, right? Yeah. And these are color-coded, this deck. Oops, let's throw them around. Mutilated quartz, 52-card pickup. No, it would be 42-card
There'd
pickup.
be more, because that's like 2 decks in one.
It is. It would double up the decks. We stack the decks, literally. So the intention on this Crystal Intentions card is maintain a healthy heart. Improve beliefs about good health and overall well-being. Improve beliefs about. That's a biggie. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm sick, or oh, I have this, or what is this ache? Why does this hurt? Oh, what is it? And then you realize, oh, no, it's a temporary situation, and this is going to be healthy in a minute. Yep. So that's a belief. Increase healthy outlook on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So that's our, we'll put that there as a theme card.
That's our group thing.
It's a group, that's our group card. So, do one of you lovely studio audience members want to ask a question? You don't have to say your name, and they can't see you. I can see you, but yes.
Is there a stone to heal you from fear of betrayal?
Yeah, so I would choose, personally, I would go for Dalmatian agate, Dalmatian jasper. Dalmatian jasper is a white stone with black specks on it. It looks like a dog, Dalmatian dog, which is why it's named that. And I feel like that's one of the stones, because there's so many that we could choose from, that would help with attracting only loyal friends, family, and associates. to reframe how you said it. It's like, I attract only supportive, loyal friends, family, and colleagues. And the black and white, the white stone with the black specks, it's called Dalmatian jasper. And we do have it in stock, and we do have it, some of them dyed too, that are pretty. So that's what I would choose. And just for the fun of it, let's see if there's further message from the Crystal Intentions Oracle. So clear thinking is important in matters of what you attract into your life. So the fluorite card came up, and this is not necessarily, I'm going to reframe it to what your question is. It has to do with releasing mind chatter, letting go of thoughts that are beliefs, or focusing on what the good people in your life and steering away from people who are potentially ones that are going to betray you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And fluorite is the stone in this, from what I pulled. Good.
Thank you.
Of course. Do we have any people waiting on the Facebook page?
Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces.
There
Hi,
was
Book of Faces.
there was one from last week that was actually a really good question, or not last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, huh?
That I said that we would answer this week, and it's from Deborah Lang, and she says, "How can you tell if you're getting messages from your intuition or your thinking mind?" Like example, lock the door, is that your intuition talking to you or your thinking mind, and how do you tell it from other things? So like the feeling that you've forgotten something perhaps, or...
So sometimes we don't need to know whether it's the thinking mind or the intuition, but still listen to it right away. Pay attention. So if you have a strong feeling that you didn't lock the door, whether you end up being right or wrong, still follow through on the fact that that thought jumped in your head, and go forward with going back to lock the door. Make a U-turn, go back home, check it out. How do you determine? It's very interconnected, because the intuitive mind and the spiritual body, the mental body, emotional body, and the physical body are all one, and they all overlap and interact with each other. So I think it would take practice of paying attention, being very self-aware to know, okay, last time I had this feeling, I was right. And so maybe I should pay attention and follow through on what this thought is. Because what made the thought come up to begin with is what I sometimes ask myself. And without going into what I call analysis paralysis, you don't want to spend a super long period of time on it. Otherwise, you're going to be constantly like over-analyzing things. But I think it's practice and experience that will help you discern whether it was intuition, and not getting too caught up in which one it is what I feel. And Kate, would you like to add something to that?
I think you basically covered it, that it's like, it is all connected, so just having the thought is also intuition and stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes we scare ourselves, like, did I turn the oven off? You know, it's like, and you can kind of tell if it's a ridiculous thought, or, you know, something that you should pay attention to.
Yeah.
Kind of based on the level of, like, reality that's involved.
Well said. Yes. I guess I should look at what pull. Archangel Zadkiel brings the affirmation, I am safe, I have constant protection surrounding me and deflecting anything that's not for my highest good. So that would be like sort of in direct relation to the fear of I didn't lock the door. It's like, okay, well, I'm divinely protected if I can't. Let's say you're already to the office, you're at work, you're not allowed to leave, so to speak, you know, you can't really go. Then it would be a matter of, okay, if my intuition is right, now I'm sending a prayer of protection around my home and around my space. Nobody else knows that the door might be unlocked, and therefore, divine protection, I am safe, I am sound, and so are all my belongings. You know, that's what I get from that. And so, the stone on this is copper, or the metal is copper. And this has to do more with if you needed to, it doesn't relate directly, what it says on this, but this affirmation does.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. That's all I got.
Well, and like intuition too usually comes at an opportune time, whereas your like ego thoughts and fears kind of come at a time where you couldn't possibly do anything about it. So like if it was intuition, it would probably happen like as you're pulling away, so you could go and check.
That would be better.
Something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that where I've gotten to the top of my hill and turned back around and went back.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in Florida and I live down a hill. It's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a true miracle. Anybody else in the live studio audience that wants to ask a question? Yes. Yes, you. Yes.
Okay. How do I become less needy and get back my old self?
So what comes to mind right away is, I feel like I'm missing a deck. Oh, I am.
What are you missing?
Oh, but then we're going to see your hand.
The animals?
The angels, just the regular,
Oh.
everyday angel one.
You have
I
the
have
box,
the box.
But you don't have any.
Did I
cards?
leave the pile over there?
I think it got put away.
Did it? I'm hot.
I'll turn it down.
It's all right. It's okay while I'm on the air to take off my jacket.
Yes.
It's all right. I can be human on the air. Here, let me just throw that under the table.
Hey, that works.
This is my look. So there's this joke, a running joke, that Kate will never get in front of the camera. That's why the arm always shows up. That's why the arm shows up. So the first thing that comes to mind as far as a gemstone, without pulling a card, has to do with is citrine or yellow, the color yellow, which is raising self-confidence, increasing high, making you're remembering what it's like to have high self-esteem. So remembering is the key word as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes we have to remember what it felt like, what the vibration was that you were in when you did have that ability to, feel like your old self. Remembering what your old self felt like and what aspects of your old self you want to bring forth. There may be parts that you want to leave in the past, and then also parts that you want to, bring top up to the surface. Because you've had the experience of what you want to be like as far as not feeling too needy or feeling, another way of saying that is feeling very self-confident in yourself, personal power, would be to, you have a memory of it. You know what it feels like, what it acts like, what you are like at that time. So using your imagination, it could be imagining and making believe that you already are feeling that strong and confident, and that you, and then when feelings of neediness arise, is to stop and contemplate for a moment, and maybe even stop and get a journal out if you are okay with journaling, and write down what you're feeling, and then try to breathe into that and see, where did that stem from? When did this start that I started to feel this way? Was it something that occurred in my life? Did something happen with another person? Or you can already think of what it is, more or less. You don't have to talk about it. I'm just saying there's some things that may have occurred that may have diminished it, and then it's deciding, I want to take my power back. That I'm not going to let that vibration of whatever happened win and take away my brilliance. Hopefully that made sense. It made sense to me. But do you want to, while I pull a card, do you want to, cross my feet? I don't like to pull cards with my feet crossed.
It's better to be grounded.
It is. You go ahead and share, and I'll...
I think that oftentimes, and you've like kind of gotten to where you need to be with it anyway, is getting back to your normal self. Like when neediness arises, it's usually because we're not doing something for ourselves. So we're like putting it off on somebody else to do it instead of checking back in with ourselves. So you've already taken the first step in recognizing that you want to get back to your old self, and that's really the first step in fixing that. feeling.
Very true. Self-observation and the awareness.
Yeah.
Awakening consciousness,
Yeah.
awakening awareness.
Yeah.
And the card that came out was Amazonite or Amazonite, depending on how you want to say it. It's a potato kind of thing. But it's spelt like Amazonite. And it's a beautiful turquoisey blue stone, that very pretty. And it's the gemstone of knowing your truth, and being your truth, and living your truth. And so it's a matter also potentially, or like we tease each other and say potentially, she makes fun of the way I talk.
Always.
Always, all day long. She sits next to me. Sometimes it's worth it to see if there's something that needs to be said. So let's say it is from the past of something that has diminished someone who has diminished our self-worth through actions and words. And even if they're no longer in your life, is to take a moment, imagine them in front of you, and say what you gotta say, or write down in a letter that you don't mail, or put in your journal, to get it out of your system. And it also brings awareness to clear it out, and then you can replace it with what you do want. So have the courage to speak up with grace, if it's appropriate. Loving words have the power to heal or improve a situation. I surround myself with people who are not afraid to honestly express themselves. That sort of doesn't relate in this matter, but that's still a good thing.
That's good.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody waiting online or not? Yes.
Sky Williams.
Oh, hi Sky. How are you? Not that you can answer. We're on Facebook with each other often.
She wants to know how her temporary move that's due to house rehab and a plumbing leak, how is that going to go? She's excited for the transformation.
I bet. Because now your house is getting transformed. And then you're getting sort of like a little respite, a little healing retreat perhaps. And it's Raphael, so yes, you're going to get a little healing retreat wherever you're going to stay temporarily. Not only are your home going to get some kind of a healing, like because of the shift of the change of the energy, but also there's an opportunity for your own personal improved health and well-being on any of the levels, whether it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. And you have gone through much in the way of improved physical healing. I know that for a fact. And it's interesting because one of the affirmations is, my body, did you want to make fun of me?
No.
See, I make fun of myself before she can make fun of me. My body naturally regenerates and heals. My actions are heart-centered. I allow love in my life, and I easily manifest my ideas. I always attract love, luck, wealth, and success. So maintain an intention during this process of the renovation and the restoration that you and your home are going through renovation and restoration, and everything is going to go and flow smoothly. If there's a hiccup, which is human nature in life, it's okay. It's just a temporary, short term, and easily everything will realign. It's time to recognize there is an unlimited supply, a myriad opportunities, and unlimited potential available to you. Green Tourmaline is the stone, and it comes from the Archangel and Gemstone Guardians cards. Archangels and Gemstone Guardians. Good?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Anybody else in the live studio audience want to ask a question? You can ask a general and send it to me telepathically without having to say it out loud, because I know you really want to. Go
I
ahead.
got you to do that last time, and you hit it right on the nail. So
You want me to do it that way?
yes.
So are you going to think loud?
I'm very loud in thinking.
Tell me just your first name.
Carol.
Wow, it's the same fluorite card, whoever I pulled this for before. So this has to do with getting organized. fast. You have to organize yourself.
Amen, sister.
Oh, okay. Does that relate? Okay.
It does relate very, very much.
Okay.
Yes.
So once you're organized, then certain problems will get resolved because of that process that you'll go through. And know that you are good at solving any problem that arises, but also maintain courage and confidence in order to utilize your intelligence that you have innately within you.
Very nice.
Okay? And the stone is, again, fluorite. Fluorite came up earlier. Was that for you? Somebody.
Dalmatian.
It was Dalmatian. Oh, maybe when I...
Didn't you pull that card for you guys?
No,
No, that's over
Adventure.
here.
I remember you
It was
pulling
with
that card, though.
it was with the Dalmatian Jasper, like as part of the.
Oh, because I didn't pull a
Fear of
Dalmatian
the
Jasper,
Trail.
I pulled a card.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah, you're right.
That's
That's the
it.
one. Thank
Cool. Excellent. Does that answer it well enough?
Yes. You
And
always seem to hit it right on that.
you know, it really
Yeah,
works to
right.
do it telepathically because when I do it in a group setting, like for our launch parties, which we'll have again soon, I'll probably pull cards that day too because people like it so much, huh? Because we're going to have a party in March for the 12 astrological sprays, the astrology collection.
Yes.
And calm mist and calm, we don't really call it calm mist, but calm, serenity mist, Nag Champa, and Nag Champa spray.
Yep.
We're going to have a party. So it's a free event, and we'll
What
spray.
day is
We'll
that
hose yourself down with aromatherapy spray. So if you don't like scent, don't come.
Yeah. That would not be okay.
It's not going to work if you don't want to smell aromatherapy. And then I'll do. I don't know the date. It's around March 21st ish.
I'm pretty
isn't
sure
it?
it's March 21st.
Oh,
it's
is it?
that Saturday. That's right around there.
Yeah, so
But
it's
I'm pretty
perfect
sure it's
for the vernal
21st.
equinox. We did that on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a good launch day.
Yes.
Somebody waiting online?
Yes. Jackie Williams.
Hi, Jackie.
She says hi.
Hi.
She's a new empty nester and ready for her next chapter, trying to determine her next steps while purging old files and mindsets.
And is there like a
I think like
question?
what the next step might be or guidance in that regard is my guess.
Mhm. Are you ready to transform your life? That's what it says. How cool is that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So the way to uncover the transformation is through your spiritual connection. So if you haven't spent much time, maybe you have, I don't know what your life is like, but if you haven't spent much time in your connection with the divine, in contemplative thought, prayer, and recognizing the vibration of the heavenly realm that's around you, that through that things will be shown to you. You'll have realizations, whether it will come in the dream time or in a flash as an aha moment during maybe a little meditation time. So through your spiritual connection with the divine, you can receive intuitive insights to help you in your daily life. You have the ability to transform your reality using spiritual guidance you receive. So pay attention to your dreams is definitely part of the message of this card, of the amethyst. And Archangel Zadkiel, who is the angel of mercy and forgiveness, I think that's going to be helpful and on an energetic level, because you'll need to be gentle with yourself with the changes that you're going to experience. If you're recently an empty nester, you have to figure out who you are now, without what you were doing and experiencing before, right? You have some thoughts?
Not really. I think you did a pretty good job of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like you know what you're talking about or something.
Sometimes. But I have cheat sheets from the universe. Maybe that's the new name of this. Cheat sheets from the universe.
There you go. I like it.
So, another thing that comes to mind or another idea is to also tap into what are the things that you didn't do before because you didn't have time, and start doing some of those to figure out if that's what you want to spend some of your time doing now. You may not. Your interests may have changed now, but like I really have using myself. In fact, the meditation we just did was all about gardening because I'm really into that this year. I'm get back into my gardening and take balance in my life between writing and working because I write, I have to still write, because I have to. My books do too, to the publishers. But I love to write. So, but instead of just sitting, I've started gardening again. And my point with that is there may be something like that. Maybe you like to crochet. Maybe you like to knit. Maybe you scrapbook. You know, I don't know. Something that you want to do. And maybe this volunteer work. It could be anything. So I think that's all I have for today on that one. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask a question, and as I'm getting on later in life and everything, I spent my life in offices, law rooms. I'm a registered realtor, licensed realtor. And I did that for a long time, and I wanted to do something that would be different, that I could make money of, and also my age, which I'm always worried about, may not hold me back. So I was thinking, and this is just very wild for me because I'm a 9-to-5er. I would like to officiate at weddings, and weddings that are like LGBT. I know a lot of them. Some parents don't come. And I thought, well, if I can't officiate, maybe I could possibly be a fake mom or something. Do you know what I mean? To give some
not the
glory.
mama. How sweet. Well, you could officiate if you either become I'm pretty sure in the state of Florida, notary public, or become ordained.
Okay.
You know, because I do, I facilitate weddings, officiate weddings as well. But I used to, before I became a minister many years ago, I used to be a notary. So, what was the question? Because I was starting to go in on a tangent. I have other things I want to tell you, but I want to make sure I answer
Okay,
you.
the question was, I have no idea because this is such an odd thing that came up in my mind. Is it too odd for me, and is it too difficult to do something like that? I want to, but I have no idea. It's not like me going out for a job and getting it.
Because it's a very creative. I think it's a
Right.
very creative idea. So if you have friends and or family and people that you know that are in that community, then you could share your idea with them, and that would be the start, because it starts with planting a seed. That would, like our meditation, you put that seed in the ground, letting the people know that this is something that you would like to do. And then to answer the part about age, I really want to, this comes up with you more than once.
Many times.
Many times, I know. And so,
2 days I'll be 73, and I think
happy birthday! It's never too late to start anything or do something, really, anything that you decide you want to do. My own father built a very large business, started when he was in his mid-60s, and managed it all the way through to about 82 years old. So there's many people I know that have started careers later in life. A famous person like that you may have heard of is Louise Hay. And actually that might be a good spiritual mentor connection, because she did the hay rides. Do you know about Louise Hay? I don't know all of her history, but a little bit. Before, when people were not acknowledging the people that were dealing with AIDS, which was mostly, especially at that time, only in the what is the best easy word?
But how would I get the training to do the ministry?
Oh, well, you could go. I got ordained through the Alliance of Divine Love, ADL. I like that. I liked it very much. I mean, it takes a little bit of time and effort, but it gives you training background on how to deal with counseling and such, and then you become a real ordained minister. It's not just like sign up online and me and my cat are getting ordained today.
Is that
Cats
local?
have gotten ordained.
Is that local or?
Yeah, there should be still local ADL. Yes, I can tell you when we're not on the thing. We can look it up. Actually, it's adl.org. You
Okay.
can go onto that and put in a request or a question.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And that is, I think, international, but definitely national.
Okay.
And the stone that got pulled is, Ganesha,
Ah.
the destroyer of obstacles and the bringer of blessings. Do you want to make changes, but inner voices keep telling you can't? So on. Are you convincing yourself that you're blocked or stuck?
Keyword convincing yourself.
Exactly. Underline, italicize it. You have the ability to overcome all obstacles. It's time to take action and be determined to make the necessary changes to transform your life. And Ganesha's affirmation is, we keep stopping?
It's the phone keeps losing battery, so it
Connection.
pops up a little thing and then it pauses the video.
Oh, okay. So I guess that means we're almost done. 'Cause we don't-
We actually are.
Are we?
Yeah,
We are done?
almost.
Okay. The last affirmation for this is, I am confident. I earn unlimited income doing what I love. Do you like that?
I like that.
Alright. So Ganesha and Ametrine. Well, I think that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, you have a question?
No, I wanted to do it however you did.
She wanted you to pick a
Oh,
card
okay.
for her.
We'll do a
And
fast
have
one.
That one.
We'll
I
do
mean,
it like
if it
this.
stops, that's okay.
And Zadkiel. But this is Zadkiel and Girasol Quartz, which has to do with that you're observing, perhaps, because I don't know what you're really doing, but you may be observing other people and noticing that your feelings are being reflected around you. Like on a day that maybe you're feeling angry, all of a sudden there's angry people around you. Or on a day that you're feeling happy, more happy people are around you. So the question is, have you noticed that people and situations are reflecting your feelings and thoughts? Pay attention to the messages these mirrors are providing. Take stock of what work you need to do to improve your self-awareness and personal growth. And Girasol Quartz is very much, and even this photograph of this one, is very much being reflective like the moon. And it's about very much going inside yourself to know the truth about things. So it's about observing yourself objectively and also objectively observing others. Objectively does not have any words like judgment involved. It's the opposite. It's just like, oh, look, it's raining out. It's not that it's a bad thing that it's raining out. So whatever it is that you had in mind, it's time to look at it more objectively and without judgment. Yeah, I'm sticking to that story. Can you apply that?
Yeah.
I objectively observe myself in my interactions with others. I watch my words and actions from various perspectives. I work towards self-improvement at every opportunity. I notice the mirrors and projections without judgment or preconceptions. Something specific? You did. Amethyst druzy. So this has to, white buffalo calf woman. This has to do about returning yourself to prayer. White buffalo calf woman brought the pipe to the people of the native people of like the Lakota Sioux, and many and more than just the pipe, the 7 rites. But the one that I feel like this has more to do with is if you haven't prayed like you used to pray. It's time to get back to say Hail Marys and Our Fathers. It's just a natural, it comes. And then just focus on the situation, person, place, or situation that needs that extra love and prayer energy. And remember to pray for yourself, and even remember to pray, like if you see someone that's homeless or down on their luck or they're challenged in some way, maybe nobody's praying for that person, and it would be beneficial. Oh, and then the other thing that goes with that, this has been a big lesson for me because most of the time we have very, very nice people in the store. Most of the time. But there are times when they're not so nice. And when they're like not, I used to take it personally. I used to have a knee-jerk reaction. It's hard when somebody's in your face over something that's totally ludicrous. But now I've decided that God is telling me to pray for them. And not in a condescending way.
Right.
You know, just there's something going on for them that they need prayers and help and love. Can you smell smudge and spray being filled? Do you smell that essential oil wafting?
Yes.
Yeah, that's smudge and spray. We're filling it for the orders that are ready to go out in Whole Foods and stores around the country. It smells good, doesn't it?
I have that one.
Do you? It's our #1 bestseller.
What is that?
Smudge and spray. Smudge and spray, I created over 15 years ago for me, and I used to use it in group settings because I used to burn sage to start an event and clear, and we all smudge ourselves. And then I sprayed it one time, well, many times during classes, and people were like, well, I need to buy that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not for sale. It's like, you can't use that and not have it for sale. So I created some with little Avery labels, and now here we are over 15 years later. It's about 18 years old, I think-ish, right? And it sells worldwide. I mean, Japan, England,
And Whole Foods?
and Whole Foods in Florida.
Wow.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everybody.